Africa.
U.S. side of 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 Africa.
U.S. out of Africa.
U.S. side of Africa.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
My name is Diaco Mbalo, as was stated before. I'm a representative, and we are representatives of the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations. And we want to extend our complete and total solidarity and support for this important demonstration that's been called for by the Anti-Coalition to oppose the U.S. drone bombing of Africa. And we want to also, as an organizational representation of the African community, we want to also expand not only our criticism of what is being done in Africa by the U.S. in the form of the drone bombings, but we want to condemn the total imperialist wars of aggression that are being waged against African people all over the world. Wars of aggression that include, right now, every 36 hours, another African in this country is murdered. Every 28 hours, another African is murdered by the police inside this country. The reality is that there's no difference between what the U.S. military is doing in Africa right now in the form of the drones and what the police are doing in the African community in places like D.C., Detroit, LA, and Brooklyn, New York. And the reality is that it is not enough just to condemn or criticize particular policies or ways in which these wars of aggressions are being waged, because the fact is, even before there was a discussion about a drone bombing, the U.S. was engaged in a vicious war of aggression against Africa and African people. The reality is that this is what we refer to as a colonial occupation of Africa, in the form of AFRICOM, in the form of the drone bombings, but not only what the U.S. is doing, but what U.S. and European imperialism is doing, like what the French are doing in Ivory Coast and in Mali right now, what they're doing in Haiti, and what's going on in our communities all over the world. So we are against the colonial occupation of Africa and African communities around the world, and also, most importantly, we have to be critical of this occupation in the context of how this entire social system was built. The reality is that what is known as U.S. colonial occupation in Africa right now in our communities is a way in which this system of parasitic capitalism is being protected and defended by U.S. imperialism itself. We're talking about a system that was built on slavery and colonialism, and therefore it can't be reformed any kind of way. The only way to see peace and prosperity for the oppressed people is not to reform the ways in which imperialism is attacking oppressed people, but to overturn the destruction of imperialism itself. And that is a struggle. That is a struggle that we must all extend our unity and solidarity with. It's not enough just to say, stop the drone bombings in Pakistan or Africa or other parts of the world, but we must say absolute victory and self-determination to the people of Pakistan, of Afghanistan, African people as well. We must unite with the anti-colonial, anti-imperialist resistance that is being waged by African people, oppressed peoples around the world, including that which is happening right here inside the U.S. If we build that type of movement, then the drones that are being operated from centers like D.C., they'll be too busy trying to put down African, Mexican, and other resistance right here in the belly of the beast in order to send attacks in places like Africa. We must build and rebuild and complete a revolutionary struggle right here within the belly of the beast, and that is a call that we're making for the African community to unite with and for everybody to extend solidarity with. So again, on behalf of the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations, we want to just unite and salute the Anti-Coalition for the strong stance being taken right now in opposition of the drone bombing. And we want to invite everybody to attend African Liberation Day, which is going to be happening at Howard University, in which Howard University is May 25th. I'm sure many of you have received one of these flyers. If you have not, you can come see me or one of these organizers, and they can give you more information about how you can hook up with the anti-colonial resistance of the African community.
All right, that's Brother Diaco and the Black is Back Coalition.